Hi there, my name is Seela Beck, and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. The new issue of SFX magazine came out. I've been reading SFX off and on pretty much since it was first published. I used to work in this video store, and I remember one time I was on a 12-hour shift, and I would go out and buy my SFX magazine right next to a really good doner kebab shop. That's before I was religious, so I could have the joys of doner kebabs. Oh, doner kebabs in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. Must be late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, were freaking awesome. So I've been with SFX for a long time. I started reading Dreamwatch magazine, and until that was bought up by Titan Publishing, it just went downhill. Actually, I read Dreamwatch Bulletin, was it, before it became Dreamwatch Magazine. It was basically a rag designed to slag off John Nathan Turner for a long time. So fine. So I'm going to be reviewing the latest issue and asking, is it worth your hard-earned money to pay? To pick up an issue. I don't know. I'm with a bit of sadness. I'm leaning towards the opinion. No, it probably isn't. But let's look at it together, and you make your own mind up. I'll make my mind up, and we'll all meet together. Before we get there, can I ask you to hit the subscribe button? That'll be fan dabby double dozy. Thank you very much. I just spat as I said. Thank you very much. I'm really glad I wasn't doing that in person. That would have been. It's always bad when you thank somebody and you spit in their face at the same time. It says what we like to call a mixed message. So thank you very much, anybody anybody and everybody subscribing. I am genuinely very grateful. Oh, YouTube just says I can open up memberships, which I really got to get around to doing. That sounds fun. And I have to find good stuff to put in there for members. But if you become a member, if you become a subscriber, which is free, become a subscriber, you can enter my weekly competitions. Or this is actually going around 3 weeks because it's a freaking awesome prize. The prize right now is the Indiana Jones Adventures DVD box set. The first three. It doesn't have Kingdom on Crystal Skull, which a lot of people say. Bit of a bonus, so you get the three good Indiana Jones movies and a bonus disc of tons of extras, which is really fascinating. I really love that stuff. All you need to do to win it is subscribe to the channel, and then in the comments leave the hashtag Dr. Jones. Dr. Jones are going to be doing the prize draw on this on August 2nd when I'm on the TARDIS Zone. I don't know. We'll be doing Impossible Planet. We're in the middle of Series 2. We're doing weekly watch-alongs of the revival, the 2005 era of Doctor Who onwards. Fine! Also, go check out the video notes. There is a Tomorrow People audio event for you to download. This was made by Big Finish. But it's out of license and out of print. You cannot buy a copy anymore. So go ahead and download it while you can. If I get in trouble, I guess I've got to take it down. But I would say if you download it and enjoy it, and listen to it and enjoy it, and if Big Finish ever gets a license back, go and buy yourself a digital copy. So it's all nice and kosher. Fine. Let's have a look at this month's SFX magazine. Okay, so an Umbrella Academy cover. Good move. That's actually a pretty darn good move, in my opinion. I'm watching Doom Patrol. And that's okay. I quite liked it. It's been amusing. It's like, now Snowpiercer's finished. I think it's the best thing on TV. Not there's much stiff competition. But then I started watching Season 1 of Umbrella Academy. Again, to get ready for Season 2, starting in, 10 days? It's so much better. I forgot how good it was. It's really, really good. So this is a great cover. It's got Rob Sheehan front and center in the middle there. Still being fan. I forgot Rob Sheehan was in it. I loved him from Misfits. And was it Tom Hopper and basically the whole crew. I don't know who the guy is over here with the beard. In the orange shirt, maybe a new character. Fine, so let's go over to here. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna go forward a couple of pages. Well, first, also on the cover they said, Picard behind the scene world exclusive. It's world exclusive because nobody cares. People really didn't like Picard, and it's all about the design of the show. The design was horrible. The design was just horrible. But here, let's where is this? So this first thing that just annoyed the hell out of me is over here. Is Ian Berriman, deputy editor, and this is something that just I think is indicative of what I think is going wrong with SFX magazine, where it says Waves. Hello there. Are you a BAME journalist blogger? Firstly, I hate the use of the word BAME. I think I just can't stand the idea that we're now labeling people by their bloody ethnicity and color. That was done away with in the 80s. Like, oh my god, what's going on with the world? Who'd love to write reviews for SFX? Then read this. Listen, I understand. It's a good thing. It's a good thing to want to have a representative staff, a representative creative staff. But I think that's really the problem. You don't have a representative creative staff, and then this is going to be make the staff less representative. Meritocracy, gentlemen. Meritocracy is the way to go. And that you're asking for it. Oh god, it's just kind of a bit embarrassing, I think. Fine. So here, let's look at the. We go to where was it? Page overview. Page overview, so we can scoot around here. So Red Alert. I mean, God, they're really fishing. They must be fishing for some news stories. New Muppet series, though. I'm up for that. Yes. Oh God, it takes forever to open. The Muppets Now. Is it an app or is it a series? Let's see. Well, if we look over here at the bottom of the article, it should. Here, 1 second. Muppets Now start streaming from Disney Plus from July 31st. No way I'm signing up for that. Are you out your bloody mind? Really? Mandalorian. Give me another Mandalorian and you get my subscription. Anything other, not interested. And I love the Muppets. I freaking love the Muppets. I just don't trust Disney at all in any way, shape, or form. So you got the new stuff going on, but it's kind of getting thin on the ground because there's less news, because there's less like tele-fantasy being made. Plenty of comic stuff. For some reason, there's an interview with Craig Charles here at the beginning. And then you got this lengthy article, which let me show you. Look at this picture, it's freaking awesome. Look at that with Tom Hopper. Is that still name Hopper? Yeah, did they improve the makeup for this season? Because it looks really, really awesome. It looks really great. I'm looking forward to that. So they have a large article about Umbrella Academy. It goes on for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pages. And then they got a article about Tenet. If you haven't seen the trailer for Tenet, freaking awesome. It's absolutely freaking awesome. Actually, just want to go back to one thing on the cover. This cover. So you see Rob Sheehan, he's wearing I think he's wearing a dress. Looks like he's wearing, is that like an Indian thing? But looks like it could be a dress. So that would have been quirky and fun, before 2020, when people wearing, people cross-dressing was considered somewhat unusual, So something that you were allowed to mention, right? No, that's not you allowed to mention. No. So now, I don't know. Are they just being ironic? Who knows or dares to dream? Look, an article on Tenet. I am interested in Tenet. You haven't seen that trailer. That looks awesome. And then they got this thing about the new Netflix thing with Charlize Theron. What else is that called again? Oh God, which I really got to get around to watching. I just finished watching Snowpiercer, and I really liked it. I have to say, I really, really enjoyed it. I'm surprised there's nothing in there about it. So then they got this little bit about life on Mars, and talking about what they would have done had they done a third season, which I think they always intend to do. I would read that. I would. But again, this seems like kind of like internet fluff. So then they got this lengthy thing going over the design work for Picard, and quite frankly, the design work wasn't the worst thing about Picard, but it was one of them because it felt not Star Trek. It didn't feel like, oh, this painting was ridiculous. The whole thing is like that whole thing made no sense whatsoever. Like how? Don't stop and try and work anything out. Well, that's cute. The #1 dog tag for the dog, and I didn't even see the flute in the background. All this stuff doesn't. Okay, the Romulan design stuff is good, but you notice they're staying away from the Federation design stuff, which was just horrible. Those ships that showed up at the end, and this body horror over here. For God's sake, let me zoom in. Really, for God's sake. It was like, why did we need to see Ichib's eye being drilled out slowly? It just didn't strike me as, that Star Trek-y or that necessary. So then there's, I have no idea what this is about. Let's have a look. So this is what would have happened if they did another series and so on. So basically, because they stopped making TV, they just going people who used to make TV and say, what would you have done if you did another season, which I find kind of interesting, but like really, that doesn't seem like something you build a magazine around. They got a review, archive feature of was it Back to the Future 3, which I love that movie. And then the review section is much lighter than it used to be. It used to be like really big on its reviews, and here we see the real problem. I think so the circulation for last year was about average a month of 16,250 copies copies a month of selling. So you got to imagine that's significantly down this year. That was like from January 2019 to December. Now, it's been on a downward trend for years. Around the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who, it was doing really well. They were on about 25,000 a month circulation. As of, what was it, 3 years, I think 4 years ago, they got down to about 20,000 a month, which I think is probably the normal thing. Now it's down to 16. I think it's going to go quite less of that. And I think the reason they're doing that is because they're not talking to they had a thing asking for black, Asian. What's the M in BAME? Who cares? I hate it. Yeah, but they had the thing asking for for minority writers so they can be diverse and representative. So a bit of a diversity and representation they really should have is people who don't like this era, iterations of genre stuff like Star Wars, Doctor Who, or Star Trek. Unfortunately, they call us the deplorables. They call us like the worst people in the universe, and it's just okay, fine. So like if you're one of these people and you don't like being actively not catered to, then I would say save your money. I'm really getting. Look, I'm going to check out I haven't read the articles yet. It just came out this morning. I'm going to read the articles on Sabbath on Friday night from like 7:30 till for 25 hours. I'm offline. So what I do is I print out the pages that I want, because I have a digital subscription. I print out the pages I want because I don't use like computers or electronic devices on the Sabbath. And I read I'll read it out. I'll see what the quality of the articles is. But two things in the reviews did get me irritated. So let's do. It's not irritated. It shows how incredibly out of step they are with the viewing public. The first thing is that their review of Star Trek short treks, which is frankly awful. They haven't been able to get Star Trek short treks in the UK yet because Netflix and Amazon don't want them. And my God, if you saw the trailer for Lower Decks, yeah, man, no wonder Netflix and Amazon didn't want those either. They should just give it away. It looks, okay, the animation kind of fine. It's Rick and Morty-ish. It's standard animation, but it just wasn't funny at all. It wasn't funny at all. So let's read this review together and see if it's reflective of the readership. And I'm not saying they shouldn't have they shouldn't have a representation from this part of fandom because they think this part of fandom, but this part of fandom doesn't like representation from any other part of fandom because they're horrible bigots. Basically, they're the bad guys. I think everyone's coming out now and going, J.K. Rowling, Ricky Gervais, everybody say, no, you're actually the bad guys. But SFX have decided to put their money into them and to alienate us, which is okay. That's your choice. Can't argue with you. So let's read this review. Their series of short films, which were freaking awful. Most of them unavailable in the UK until now, offers by turns intriguing and frustrating new takes on Star Trek. Neither. They don't get anything, any emotional response out of me at all. The first was Calypso, which is the standard, which is a really weird one. Discoveries in the far future, and the computers developed an AI. And I guess it's going to tie into how they're going to wrap it up with season 3. I guess. Who knows? Who knows or dares to bloody dream? But, given that they forget major plot points in Discovery, where they just get like, we just got to do it exciting. Let's have Spock kill a bunch of people and frame for murder. Now he's crazy. Now he's not. Red Angel. Oh, God, it's so stupid. Oh, yeah. Mirror universe. The eyes are, you can't see the brightness of our universe. Oh, no, forget that. That's inconvenient. Look, I understand blowing off the rest of Star Trek canon, but blowing off your own canon, it's just awful. So, the first season, Calypso is the standout, penned by Picard runner Michael Chabon. Yeah, that didn't go down so well, did it? It finds the abandoned Discovery gaining sentience thousands of years in the future. It's a cool SF concept, well told. It's a bit boring. I don't think it's well told. It was a boring one, but at least it wasn't like objectionably awful. With direction by Oluntunde Asunsanami. The Bright Star also is a worthwhile addition. More context of Suru's background, which was so stupid and made no sense. Like, okay, so he found this piece of technology and used it to cool a starship, which took him away. It seemed to break the first, the Prime Directive, and then they came back and broke it more by completely devastating the planet and ending the balance that they lived in. Runaway, oh god, was awful. Gives Tilla's alien power Poe, which, oh god, she's like, okay, essentially she was what's her name, Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez in space. She was a stunning and brave woman of science. She's like every character in Marvel Comics that calls people who love Marvel Comics to jump out a window rather than buy Marvel Comics. Oh god, stunning and brave woman of science. It was awful. And Escape Artist is a mud story overstretched at just 16 minutes. Yeah, although I have to tell you, unpopular opinion, I did like that version of Harry Mudd. I thought it was an interesting villain. I really liked that. That's one of the things I enjoyed about the first season of Star Trek Discovery. I kind of liked until they broke for that mid-season, until the Christmas break. Then it started being a little bit confused then, but I wasn't really red-pilled by then. I became red-pilled by the end of season 1 and before season 2, and season 2 was just atrociously awful. Season 2 feels like two separate shows. The first 3 episodes are effectively a trial run for the forthcoming Strange New Worlds with Pike, Spock, and Number 1, and they're all awful. Every single one of them is freaking awful. They're all terrible. You have this massive. They get caught in an elevator in one, Spock and Number 1, and Spock learns how to sing, and you see the inside of the Enterprise and it's like this massive, sprawling roller. It's just stupid, and it's just completely untethered from Star Trek in every way. Oh my god, it's just horrible. What else was they do? They did one with. They're going to talk about it. Though there is the outright comedy triple tale, The Trouble with Edward. Yeah, saying how terrible. It was a story about how terrible white men are. It's old white men. It was 100% that. And what it really was, it showed how terrible this female. Hispanic captain was. So, like, one of the worst captains ever, just screwed up in every way, shape, and form. And it's entirely her fault what happened in there. But they didn't realize that because, they had a woman in it and she's stunning and brave, because you can't question that. Was it? So you had that one, and you had this one where this weird recruitment exam for the Enterprise where this woman, was of course an Indian woman, has to guard Pike because there's some kind of mutiny goes on, and she's got to work out to. I don't know. Who cares? None of it matters. But they love the last 2 episodes, which are the worst offenses in Star Trek ever. The last 2 episodes, however, move in a very different direction. Yes, in a direction of awfulness. Into animation. Fryman Dot is a witty little piece. Full of nods to the original series. No! It's a piece that shows a complete disdain for the original series. It's basically, it's one of the tardigrades are in the Enterprise, and it shows this, incredible disdain for the original series. Trying to put in, bits that are in there, but they do it out of order. It's just so stupid! Oh! But the really worst one is this, this animated story. That was traditional animated. The computer animated story of young Michael Burnham being a stunning and brave little brown girl, because they love saying little brown girl because they're racists. They are so Chris Chibnall, in a script for The Timeless Children, said, actually used that phrase. She regenerates into a beautiful brown girl. I mean, like, oh, God, it's so virtuous in the racing. Is cloying a bedtime story for young Michael Burnett that adds no insight to the character, doesn't feel like Star Trek, and seems simply to exist because somebody wanted to be a bit of Pixar. Children of Mars, the prequel to Star Trek Picard, is absent, presumably saved for that show's box set. Saved, I think, is a strong word. Every episode gets its own feature. Who cares? Examining different aspects of the Strand. There's also a 5-minute overview of the series with Kurtzman, really, Alex Kurtzman, plus commentaries on Runaway and Ask Not. And then there's a little thing. One unbaffling idea would have seen a young Jean-Luc Picard being called to a hospital and given a mission by Uhura. Thank God that never happened. Why not just make new things? That's what I'm going to say. Why not just make new things? And listen, people like them, but I think, the reason that they really aren't interested in a significant portion of the audience, what they think, is because, if you don't like Star Wars, if you don't like Rey, if you don't like Discovery, if you don't like Doctor Who, Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who, you, in their mind, because they work in publishing and they're all morons working in publishing, in their minds, you are an evil istophobe and you support the governments that won elections. Oh no, that sounds so terrible. And it's just the dumbest thing ever. But that's really what I think is going on. And just stupid. So here, SFX love. What does it love? The Last of Us 2. The Last of Us 2, which is something that is legitimately reviled by the entirety of its audience. Let's say again, if you're gonna have to do something contentious like this, why are you just putting puff piece after puff piece after puff piece? Why not put 2 reviews? And then why not embrace the rift in fandom? Like, this got a 5-star review. Let's look at Metacritic. Metacritic, it gets like, the user review is 5.5. You get a couple of 3, 0, 0, 4. Like they're all. Actually, they got a couple of 5s, but really, it's just I love The Last of Us. It was one of the few games I played, and thank God all that stuff leaked. Because what happened with The Last of Us? Why is it so reviled? Because in that game, you got to grow to know and love these 2 characters, Joel and what's her name, Ellie. So they kill off Joel very, I think, reasonably early on with this character. This character, believe it or not, is female, and that's really where all the problems came with Last of Us 2. They're not interested in continuing a good story. They're interested in saying that gender doesn't exist. Gender doesn't matter. And if you look at gender, if you think about the male, if you're a healthy heterosexual male, you are bad. So again, why not have a female character that looks like a female character? So you play as this character after she murders you, one of your most favorite and beloved characters of all time. Really, that just seems a bit odd to me. Fine, so let's just read their wonderful adventure in shilling. And again, I think it's a combination of ideological shilling and financial shilling. For many of us, The Last of Us 2 will seem like a needless sequel. Well, I was really up for it until I found out. Naughty Dog's original 2013 game stands on its own as a self-contained tale that remains the benchmark for interactive storytelling. But their follow-up isn't much a sequel as a companion piece. Yeah, because it just tears up everything you loved about that first one. They could have done a sequel, maybe something with this character, something in that world. No. They had to have their agenda, and the sign there is an agenda is whenever you say that, they people say, "Oh, you're a racist!" No. Shut up. You know it exists because that's why you like it, SFX, and you probably get actors for it. Far beyond the shadow of its predecessor. The basic premise sees former psychic Ellie take over the central role protagonist after from a father figure after he's murdered by this once again this semi-human troglodyte. Hell-bent on revenge, a mission to wipe out a mysterious group responsible for the vicious hate crime. Okay, whatever. Everything's a hate crime. Now, maybe it's just murder. Isn't that bad? No, it's going to be a hate crime. What follows a draw-dropping odyssey across impeccably conjured vision of post-apocalyptic Seattle and beyond, populated by characters endowed with real human weight through motion capture performances rendered beautifully in-game thanks to Naughty Dog's infamous attention to detail. Well, again, a detail that they did kind of forget about is working out why people liked the first game, right? What was it that connected people? And they lost that. So the 25-hour story may lose some momentum in its second half, but even its lesser moments are endowed with more nuance and authenticity. Because they're stunning and brave. Yeah, one second. Authenticity. That's a woman, right? Authenticity. Fine. Okay, fine. I think argument over at this point. And tact. Then a great deal of its contemporaries in the interactive field. Part 2's redefined stealth action gameplay. The gameplay people say is actually quite good, but I think I've heard other reviews go, it's just normal gameplay. Nothing interesting going on there at all. Also pulls a few punches, including iconography to keep players on their toes and never inured to Ellie's growing body count. And of course, Ellie is, of course, a lesbian. You know, why is it become verboten to have a normal straight person, like an average straight person? And I say normal. I don't mean there's something wrong with you if you're not straight. Normative means majority. Normative means something that the majority do. You know, and I don't understand why that's gone. That is just over now. Part 2's redefined stealth action gameplay also pulls through blah 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 blah. Enemies call for each other by name, letter, agonizing guttural howls. Can you see how they're shilling for this game? When the audience really has said, we're not interested and we hate it. And again, why are they so out of step with their audience? Why? Yeah, because they're morons, basically. Realistically crumpled to the floor in pools of blood when they're killed. The result is an experience that channels the power of its own interactivity to devastating it, forcing players to reckon with consequences of their actions, which linger in their mind long after you've put down the control. The Last of Us Part 2 not only proves its value as a worthwhile sequel, also, again, chill, but also enriches the story that came before it with new layers of thematic texture. Yeah, no, again, you took a normal girl, made her a lesbian, you know, why, like, again, why can't you just have somebody be straight for once? You know, what's the crime in that? And again, this isn't saying, ew, I hate there being gay people. But no, I don't. I do dislike it when, let's say you did a game and 80% of the people were had red hair, right? That would be a little unusual, wouldn't it? And it just takes you out of it. But, you know, if you feel that the red-headed people are at the top of the, what's the oppressed stack, the progressive stack, then you would, I guess. It doesn't really matter. You know, that's really the problem with Star Trek Discovery. Yeah, the women at the time of it being made were some women were saying they're a horribly oppressed minority in society, which I don't think they are at all. And so the Starship Discovery suddenly, strangely, had an 85% female crew, which would be fine if they explained it in context. They'd just go, no, that's just the way it is. All sociological norms have changed for no reason, because that's what we want the world to look like. And it's preaching. It's shoving their opinions down your throats. Just in the same way that if you had like a Christian guy doing it, saying, basing everything around the Gospels as like plot points. I don't think it would do so well. So it also enriches the story that came before. Blah blah blah. Notably, they've just given PlayStation for the latest multiplayer exclusive and delivered another masterpiece that can sit proudly alongside the studio's esteemed back catalogue. So, yeah. Exactly. That's not really in step with the audience, is it? I don't really think you have that diversity that they are looking for with the with the looking for the BAME actors, BAME critics. Why not put out things say, listen, we want Phantom Menace reviewers to get involved. And honestly, I'm not really interested, but like, why not say that and then actually have some real genuine diversity? So as I said, circulation is way down. I don't understand why they're not serving their audience and making it a must-read rather than a disposable read, which is just, I think it's a mistake. It's a mistake for them to be making. Should you buy a copy? Look, it's $4.99 for a digital one, which seems quite pricey to me. Or if you get a subscription, it's cheaper, which is what. But it's up to you. I've reviewed it. You decide for yourself. My name is Sheila Beckin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.